When I was a kid, my mom made Jason and I play piano. No, not Jason from Friday the 13th. Jason, my annoying, and I guess also kind of great, but don't tell him I said that, little brother. Anyway, Mom strongly believed that being involved in music as a kid was very important. You see, she grew up playing lots of different instruments. She did singing competitions, and when she got older, she played the saxophone in her town's high school band. Heck, she even got her undergrad degree in vocal performance. So it's safe to say that Jason and I were basically doomed. I mean, destined to be thrown into, introduced to music from the very beginning. Of course, this meant that we weren't surprised when she signed us up for piano lessons. I was in the 4th grade and had a few friends who played piano. One of them could even play the Charlie Brown theme song, which at that age was like watching your friend play Mozart. It was mind-blowing. Well, at least to me. I was actually pretty excited about learning how to play the piano, but as time rolled on, we continued to go to lessons, and I got more and more bored and annoyed with piano. I complained to Mom many times about going to lessons and constantly asked if I could quit. I knew she'd keep saying no, but that did not ward off my piano angst. Fast forward about a year and many irritated conversations with my mom later, I, being a much more mature 5th grader, inquired once more if I must continue on with piano. I was expecting the same answer I'd gotten countless of times before, but what I didn't expect is an answer that would lead to one of the most important decisions of my life. She said, "You can quit piano, but only if you join band." In my school district, 6th grade was the first year that band is offered, so even though it was about half a year away, I snatched up my mom's deal faster than Leo snatched his Oscar from Julianne Moore. Oh, yeah! Regardless, one problem remains. I had no idea what instrument I wanted to play. A few months later, Christmas break came around and we traveled to celebrate the holidays with Mom's side of the family. To start the trip, we spent a couple of days in one of my favorite places, Mom's very small hometown of Broken Bow, Nebraska. While we were visiting, my mom and grandpa took me to Mom's old high school where I met the Bill Reichert. Bill was my mom's old band director, and he had remained a family friend even after Mom moved to Ohio. At first, I was confused as to why I was meeting Bill, but after exchanging the usual highs and nice to meet yous, I learned that Bill was actually about to help me pick an instrument. The first order of business was to narrow down the list, so I decided I wanted to play a brass instrument. Then came the montage of trying out all the brass instruments Bill had access to. First was the trombone. The mouthpiece was fine, but I was not a big fan of the slide. Next up was the trumpet. I didn't have many problems with it, besides that the mouthpiece hurt my mouth a little and it was harder for me to make a sound on. Then came the French horn. The mouthpiece was a really bizarre shape and I was not vibing with having to stick my hand inside the bell of the horn. It was very weird and my hand felt warm and gross. So we moved on to the tuba. Yeah, the thing was literally about as tall as I was. Now, I'm not normally one to judge, but right then and there, size really did matter. Finally, we arrived at the last brass instrument that Bill had, the baritone. I really liked its mouthpiece, and I was okay with having it rest in my lap, so with tired and sore lips, I proclaimed that I was going to play baritone. Bill looked at me and was like, "Yeah, the baritone is a neat instrument. Why do you want that one?" To which I answered, "Because the mouthpiece is comfy and it's easier to make sound in." Bill then went on to say, "You know what though? I think you sounded really good on the trumpet. I think you do very well at it." As we drove back to our family, I thought to myself, I don't know what kid he listened to when I played the trumpet, but I sounded like a garbage disposal on that thing. And it hurt my lips. So I'm not doing it. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know my life. I'm playing baritone. My mom, having to have read my mind or something, told me that Bill really knows what he's talking about and that I did sound good on the trumpet. But she also made sure I knew that the decision was completely my own. Over the next couple of weeks, Bill's statement and my mom's comment haunted me. I was kept awake at night from nerves and confusion, debating whether to listen to Mom and Bill or my lips. After 2 weeks of inner turmoil, the time to officially choose my instrument had come. I had reached the end of the road and I still didn't know which to pick. What I did know was that once I wrote my instrument on the form and gave it to the teacher, there'd be no turning back. I stared at the form as it laid before me, and I picked up the pencil. Because I was a very trusting person and a people pleaser, I decided to trust Bill. I guess he had to know what he was talking about, considering he'd been a band teacher for a very long time. So, with just 7 letters, I chose my destiny. I would play the trumpet. Now here's the crazy thing. I ended up being in band from 6th grade up until I was a sophomore in college. I've made most of my closest friends and some of my favorite and best memories within band. Neither of which would have happened if not for my piano angst, my mom's dedication for me to have music in my life, and for choosing trumpet as my instrument. I don't know who or even where I'd be today without band. I never would have guessed that something I hated doing would actually lead to one of the best things to ever happen to me. So I guess Mom was right. But don't tell her I said that. Shh.